According to a new book by a duo of Washington Post reporters, Linux and Phillip Rucker, Donald Trump was not the one who threw the biggest tantrum on election night at Trump headquarters. Now, don't get me wrong. They say that title still belongs to a member of the Trump family, but the person who threw the biggest tantrum was Eric Trump. Eric Trump had a full-blown meltdown, according to this book, on election night, when he realized that his daddy was not going to win re-election. The book says he, quote, yelled at the campaign's data analysts as if it were their fault that his father's early leads over Joe Biden were shrinking. And he screamed, "We pay you to do this! How can this be happening?" Trump Jr. chimed in and said, "There's no way we lose to this guy." But here's the thing. Eric Trump also claimed that the election was being stolen. He was yelling, "The election's being stolen from us. It's being stolen from us." And they explained the scenario under which this happened. Obviously, yes, Donald Trump had some early leads in states like Pennsylvania, Michigan. But then, as the votes continued to be counted, as the more populous counties started coming in, and of course, as the mail-in votes started to be counted, or were finished being counted, Biden took the lead, and Biden eventually won the states. And so they were a little perplexed as to how that happens. Well, we had a lead and now we don't have a lead. How can that even be a thing? They were wondering. This story to me, in addition to showing that apparently Eric Trump is more terrified of his dad being a private citizen than he should be, and I'll get to that in a moment, it shows me that these idiots have no idea how life works. It's like you watch a football game and you see one team winning and another team losing, and you come back 30 minutes later and the scores have shifted and now the other team's winning. You're like, what? How is that even possible? Well, it's possible because the other team, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, tennis, whatever, the other team scored more points. Okay, it wasn't over yet, is the big takeaway. It wasn't over. And as long as there's still time on the clock, as long as there's still votes left to be counted, it ain't over. And that's what these idiot Trump kids, and of course Trump himself, didn't quite recognize. And I love the fact that they're like, he's yelling at their data analysts as if they, one, did it, two, can do anything about it. We have seen over the last few election cycles how wrong polls can be all the time, okay? Just because Nate Silver got it, really right on the money one time, everybody's like, polls are infallible and Nate Silver's infallible. Nope, they've all been wrong since then. Like, you got it right one time, and then everybody just lost it. Because it really is unpredictable, because polling is not inaccurate science, but, it's a fallible science. Because it is a science. Okay, and there's no polling method that's going to get you 100% of the time. Anybody who basically has a political science degree is going to tell you that because they took all these classes. I know because I was there. I did it. I was one of them. But anyway, why is Eric Trump so scared? What was bothering him so much about Daddy losing? Were his feelings hurt? I'm sure they were. Was he shocked that the country was rejecting his dad? I'm sure that played a role. Was he apoplectic because Joe Biden, a considerably weak Democratic candidate, beat his charismatic father? I'm sure that played a very big role in it. What about those investigations, though? Huh? The ones that we just got indictments for 2 weeks ago. I think that might have been what was on the forefront of Eric's mind. Because Eric, along with his brother Don Jr., were running the Trump organization. Except Don Jr. was spending a lot of time actually out there on the campaign trail. He had a new girlfriend. They're out there doing that stuff. And Eric was really the one left in charge of the organization while Jr. was out campaigning. Daddy was out campaigning. And Eric was basically having to deal with investigations. And he knew that if Daddy lost, well, that means those investigations were about to kick into hyperdrive. And they did. And we know not even the end results, just the beginning results of that. Because much like election night, Eric, there's still time on the clock for those investigations, and they ain't over yet. And I think, I could totally be wrong, but I think that may be one of the biggest reasons why Eric started freaking out. because he knew if Daddy wasn't president anymore, he couldn't use that executive privilege argument. He couldn't stall everything for another 4 years. He knew the chickens were coming home to roost. And that's exactly what's happening now.